Welcome back to Gillis TV. Today we got a failed trade to talk about reported by Elliot Freeman and Jeff Merrick. But before we get started, sorry about my voice, bit stuffy this morning. But before we get started as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button for more NHL content here on the channel, plus more sports to come in the later future. Now, like I said, it came out yesterday, early this morning, that there was a failed trade between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers, which would have turned the course of the Tkachuk trade as well this summer that Florida and Calgary did. Now, I'll get to the article, then we'll discuss why Kyle Dubas didn't do this for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It would have helped them on the back end. So, one of the most significant issues facing the Toronto Maple Leafs for years now is that they have so much money committed to their top six forwards, mainly four guys, that they lack the depth on defensemen needed to win when it most matters. Going into the 2020 NHL season, Kyle Dubas apparently had an offer on the table from the Florida Panthers to acquire Mackenzie Weegar, who would have been a very welcomed and valuable addition to the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup. At the time, Weegar was not signed yet, but he was an RFA coming off a one-year contract which paid him $1.6 million. He eventually signed a contract on November 6th that was a 3-year, $3.25 million AAV, a cap hit which the Maple Leafs team lacking cap space could afford. The offer that the Florida Panthers wanted in return for Weegar was Andreas Johnson and Travis Dermott, but this was too much for Dubas. Shortly after the trade was turned down, Johnson was traded to the New Jersey Devils for Joey Anderson, who has played 6 games for the Maple Leafs. Dermott, on the other hand, was in the Leafs lineup until the trade deadline last season, when he was traded to the Vancouver Canucks for a third-round pick in the 2022 draft, which turned out to be Jordan Gustafsson. This definitely a trade that would have benefited the Leafs, but Dubas did not believe it was a win for the Maple Leafs. Okay, how is that not a win for the Maple Leafs? You look at the stats of Mackenzie Weegar this past season. He had 44 points in 80 games with the Florida Panthers on the back end. He was a plus 40. Yeah, okay. In the playoffs, he kind of went downhill a bit. But this guy was having a great year. And for $3.25 million, like, I get he was a RFA, but if Florida only got him to take a 3-year, $3.25 million contract, I'm pretty sure the Leafs could have too. Like, this would have upgraded their back end for sure. And you know what? You got a worse trade out of the Anderson Dermott trade that it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if maybe some of the Toronto Maple Leafs fans watching this can chime in and, give me your thoughts about this, because this is straight from Elliot Freeman. This is one of those things that Freeman doesn't get wrong hardly ever. But what was Kyle thinking when he turned this down? He was an RFA. Who cares? You can re-sign RFAs. Worst case scenario, they get offer sheeted, you get picks out of it, or you match the offer. It was, I don't know why Kyle Dubas didn't pull the trigger on this, because ultimately the other two trades you got weren't half as good as Mackenzie Weegar is, who has 121 points in 306 games and is a plus 77 in his career, barring, yes, he played for Florida. Florida had a few good seasons. But how can you turn down a trade for a guy that is plus 77 in his career? That is absurd. Clearly, Dubas messed up here or something, as there's a fight on your screen. But if you're Kyle Dubas now, are you wanting to do this trade now, knowing what happened? And what about the Calgary trade? If Kyle Dubas would have took this deal, does Kachuk actually go to Florida now? Or does Kachuk go to St. Louis, Carolina, whatever it is, as the skate goes over top there? But, like I said, what, how would the NHL look today if Kyle Dubas accepted this trade? This was Florida offering Mackenzie Weegar for Johnson and Dermott, and you say no? Who cares if he's a RFA? Most RFAs re-sign where they are anyway. Might as well take the deal, take getting an upgrade on your defense, and move on. Because, no offense to the Maple Leafs, but having a guy like Weegar in their lineup for the playoffs, you guys, the Leafs beat Tampa in 7. They do. Because Weegar is one of those guys that can change the course of a game, snap of the fingers, either by a great hit, a goal, moving the puck around, stretch passes up the ice. Mackenzie Weegar is a solid defenseman, and Kyle Dubas messed up, well, we're going to use the words messed up, by not accepting this trade. Like, this guy is a really good defenseman. You lack defensive help, so why wouldn't you just trade for him? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. But that's where I'm going to leave this video off. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this failed trade between the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. And would you pull the deal, or would you do what Kyle Dubas did and trade both guys separately and hope to get better than Mackenzie Weegar? Let me know in the comments. I'm out of here because my throat is killing me. Hopefully you guys have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one.